Hello all, happy Ash Wednesday, although I don't think that's a happy holiday, is it? But anyway, happy Ash Wednesday to those who celebrate it. It's the beginning of Lent, so start thinking about what you want to give up. So apparently I'm the only one that can post a video this week. Kara was supposed to do her punishment as well as a video and missed again, but she's been having some health issues, so she's excused, although the punishment is still expected for when she gets better, but she is excused from last week's video. Hopefully she'll be well enough Friday to post her punishment and a vlog, because I'm curious what's going on in her life. I believe Sarah's on spring break, if I remember correctly, although I thought she was going to post a video on Saturday before she left, but maybe not. Maybe I misunderstood. So I hope she's having a great time, and I'm sure we'll hear back from her soon. I am exhausted. I had to present today for one of my classes, Re-Envisioning the Past. We presented the Albert Memorial, which I recommend you look up online. It's quite spectacular, and every piece in it means something, and every different aspect of it was done by a different artist, and it was just incredible. So so much to talk about. We were up very late researching because we got back very late. Because last night we went to As You Like It. For those of you that don't know, it's one of Shakespeare's comedies written about the same time as Hamlet. The production had some major technical issues. The sound, for example, was just atrocious. The lighting was pretty cool. The set was questionable. Also, an interesting fact, it has a character named Audrey that I am indirectly named after. My mom liked Shakespearean names but didn't want anything like Ophelia or anything like that. And she looked at the complete cast of characters and just skimmed it and noticed the name Audrey. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty name. And then kind of forgot about it. And then I was born, and they were going to name me like Suzanne, I believe, which is now my middle name. It's after my Aunt Susan, or something like that. And ended up going with Audrey. So that's how I was named. The character Audrey is a country wench that falls in love with Touchstone the clown. And in our particular production, she was absolutely ridiculous and hysterical and disgusting. She would just be on stage and be like cross-eyed and like picking her nose and like just crazy. She and some other minor characters I thought stole the show. But it was a very interesting play. I feel like that play in particular could have been done better. But I liked it. I also, on Saturday, saw The Children's Hour, which is written by Lillian Hellman, who is fascinating. I really want to read some more of her work. They did a film adaptation of it. Stars Audrey Hepburn, another Audrey, and Shirley MacLaine. And I watched it. I found it on YouTube, and it was quite good, although I did prefer the stage play in terms of what they did to the story. And then acting in The Children's Hour was Keira Knightley, which was very cool to see her in person, although she struggled a bit with the accent. And then Elizabeth Moss from Mad Men was in it. She stole the show for me. She was fantastic. And then Ellen Burstyn, who is quite famous and recognizable. If you don't recognize the name, Google image her and you'll recognize her face for sure. And she was really, really good, as was Carol Kane, who is in a lot of things, including The Princess Bride. She's the, I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. And so, like, the whole play, I was like, why do I know her voice? And I looked her up afterwards, and it was not quite the same voice, but very similar. So that was very funny. It was a great show. Unfortunately, we saw a matinee. So we waited at the stage door, but they didn't come out for matinees. So we might go back another evening and see if they can sign our tickets and, you know, get Keira Knightley's picture or something. Also on Saturday, we went to Parliament. Apparently they don't like letting Americans in there very much. So we were very fortunate to see it, and it was pretty ridiculous in good ways and bad ways, because it's just an incredible building. But it's just like, why did they put so much money into this? They re-gild the throne every 10 years for £100,000. It's just incredible, and they have all these very strange, interesting traditions, which are fun and cool, but it's like, doesn't that waste time and that sort of thing? On Friday, we went to Hampton Court Palace, and that's where the Tudors spent a lot of their time. It's where Mary thought she was having a baby, but then wasn't, and kept Elizabeth there on house arrest because she wanted to keep her eye on her. That was when Mary was queen. Henry VIII spent a lot of time there as well, and he would constantly be building new opulent rooms for his latest wife, and then they would die or something before they would ever get to use them. It was cool seeing, you could see some of the remnants of Anne Boleyn that didn't get taken down when they were supposed to. It was one of the few sunny days. It's been sunny lately, which is lovely. So we just walked around the gardens for a good 2 hours and never got bored of them. They were incredible. One of our favorite things that happened was there was this just gorgeous female duck, like beautiful, perfect feathers, and there were these two mallards that were just chasing her around, and she was just like, I don't care, whatever, picking at food. And they would just stop and like puff up their chest and then like walk up to her and she'd just walk away. And they'd be like, puff up their chest some more, and they'd walk up to her, and it was the funniest thing. As you can see, I got my hair cut as warned. It's back in a headband now. It's long on the top and short underneath, which sounds very weird, but it's very fun to style and fun to play with, and I quite enjoy it. Although it's going to need to be trimmed probably in like 2 or 3 weeks, in which case I might get the same cut or I might do a pixie cut and just get rid of it all because I have a lot of damaged hair from different colors and things. So we went to where our appointment was, and they're like, oh, actually they're teaching a class at this other location, so we're going to pay for you to take a taxi and just take a taxi over there. So she gives us 10 pounds. It's like, okay, go flag a taxi and give them this address. So we rode in a taxi, which was kind of crazy. Finally we get to the new location, and I get my student that's going to cut my hair. I got this guy that I don't think English was his first language. He was Japanese, and so we had trouble understanding each other because he was speaking with a Japanese-British accent, and I was speaking with an American accent. And I kind of was just like, I just want shorter. I don't care what. And he spent a long time playing with it, and finally he took the top part of it, put it up in a bun up here, and took a picture of me on his iPhone because I looked like a samurai, he told me. And then he starts cutting, and he spent like an hour and a half or so on the bottom layers, just getting the lines perfect. And then he takes the top down and just kind of snip, snip, snip. Okay, ready to blow dry. And I was like, okay. And then he styled it, and it looked great, and everyone loved it. And then the teacher who was supervising mine and some of my friends' haircuts was like, oh, take her back to the girls and ask if any of them want to style her for the photo shoot or anything. So Hal, his name was Hal. It was quite cute. So Hal drags me back and says something almost incoherent to the girls, and they're all like, wait, what? And he kind of tries to say it again. Like, oh, I'll do it, me. And then they drag me out, and Hal's like taking pictures of me on his iPhone and like all different angles, and the girls are coming out trying to talk to me, and they asked my friend and I, who had both gotten our haircuts, back to model for a photo shoot showing off their haircuts. We have class that day, so I don't think it's going to work out, but it would be really cool if it did. They'd color our hair for free and do our makeup. It's the day before spring break. A week from tomorrow, I leave for Dublin. I'll have one more video before then. And then on Friday, we're going to Cardiff. Yay! So maybe I'll see the doctor or Torchwood, and I'll let you know. That's all. Bye. Look out for Kara hopefully on Friday and Sarah on Saturday or Monday. I don't really know what's going on, but hopefully someone besides me will post very shortly.
Audrey, Audrey.
On the way back from my presentation, we stopped at Ben's Cookies by the tube stop. Oh, can you see them? There. Ha ha ha. They're so good. And they're funny because, you know, we have friends named Ben. So to all the Bens, thank you for having such good cookies.